Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some 21 and 2 Infinity Doubles gameplay. The map in the background is Abandon, and I'm playing with my good friend Severed Void. Me and Solomon kind of have this inside joke that if you want to get a gameplay, don't play with Void, because he can be a bit of a glory hogger when he wants to. He's a very consistent player, he can be aggressive when he needs to, and his snipe is ridiculous. And all those components add up to him being a bit of a beast, and usually takes your place in the leaderboards when you don't want him to. So yeah, that can be kind of frustrating. Luckily enough, this gameplay I'm playing super aggressively and managed to do fairly successfully as well. I get my 2 deaths very early on in the gameplay, which I don't really have a problem with. You know, it gets them out of the way so you can just watch the nice running riot at the end. I just play a bit too aggressively at the start, to be honest. I find myself in their spawn, and Void isn't there to back me up because I push too hard, and I get myself killed. So yeah, that's a bit frustrating. But I had a topic I wanted to talk about today, and it kind of regards Void as well, because we both watched this together at the same time whilst chatting on Skype. And I basically watched AGL for the first time. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, to be honest. I saw a link on Twitter and I decided, you know what, I'm actually going to try and get into it this year. Because it looks like there was an interesting lineup. You know, obviously Ninja had mixed around his team, and then you had Infamous having a new team as well, with Ryan Noob being added into the mix, so it was super entertaining to watch. And I do not regret my decision to do so at all. You know, usually competitive, I've always kind of been on the state of mind that I always found you know, pub stompy gameplay more entertaining to watch in the past. I've never found competitive to be my thing. But in Halo 4, I just think it works amazingly well with the movement speed, with the sprint. I think it all adds up to super fast-paced, entertaining gameplay. You know, it's very rare that I see gameplay slow down on that. You know, players make the mistake, players make the accusation that sprint causes people to hide and play more defensively, but I just don't see that happening in the competitive gameplay whatsoever. You know, if people try and sprint away, they usually get tracked down and caught if call-outs are good enough. And that's just an argument on the side of sprint I'd like to make. You know, the sprint getting away, yeah, it can be frustrating if you're not tracking them down in the correct way. I think it just means that players need to be smarter when they're trying to finish off their kills and play more intelligently. You know, get the call-outs going, make sure the player can't escape as quickly as they need to, and it adds another dynamic to the game. Maybe that's just my opinion. I don't want to go into another sprint rant. That's obviously a controversial topic, but that's just my take on the matter. But anyway, so I was watching this, and I didn't get to watch the whole thing, unfortunately. You know, UK time, it kind of went on a little bit late for me. The last game that I watched was the Status Quo versus Infamous series, and it was an absolutely amazing series to watch, if I'm honest. Infamous brought so much to the table. You know, Status Quo consists of Best Man, Neighbor, and 2 other amazing players. There's no disputing that. And yet, you know, Infamous almost made it look like a pub stomping lobby. Their communication, their pacing, and their gameplay was just off the chain. The extraction game on Haven, I haven't seen a game quite as entertaining as that. And I just think, like, you know, the numbers of this tournament were pretty darn low. The numbers of spectators were like 5,000 to 6,000, which I just don't think is acceptable for the amount of entertainment being delivered to the viewers. There was so much going on. It was so entertaining. And even the COD players tweeted it out at one time, which I just think is so awesome. A lot of big COD names were tweeting out the stream and saying, you got to go check this out. Tabe was constantly a presence there in the live stream chat, and it just added to having some of the most hype I've ever had for a tournament. And usually that's not something I get swept up in, but this time it was just a spectacle to behold. And another thing I want to talk about briefly is that, you know, in the live stream chat, whenever a player did worse for even a second, or a player did better for even a second, the crowd was so flip-floppy, and it just frustrated me, you know, like, the second a player does well, oh my god, this guy's like the biggest beast, Ninja has always been the best player, we all know that. The second he does bad for a second, like misses a snipe, told you guys, Ninja's the worst player in the world, he's complete garbage. And it just really frustrates me how unloyal people are, and they just, like, completely change their mind over 1 second of gameplay. Even pros can have downsides in their gameplay. Even pros make tiny mistakes. Whatever. Anyway, I've been Modest Major. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Peace out.